By the way, podcast. How hard is it to succeed in the podcast game? Is podcast game a hard game? Would you say a podcast game is a hard game?
If you love the podcast that you're doing, then it's not. If you corner yourself into if you corner yourself into something that my friends always are like, hey, I'm Tony. I'm thinking about starting a podcast. I think I'm going to do, cooking with comedians or whatever. That's not even an example, but I'm just saying, like, if you corner yourself into any type of pocket, I think it becomes miserable. I'm friends with Joe and I see what he's doing, and not only is he killing it, but he gets to interview whoever he wants and talk about whatever he wants for as long as he wants to talk about that. Full control. And people are into it, obviously. His listenership keeps going up. Every time they try to cancel him, he gets more listeners, more viewers. It's
Well, let me ask you a question.
And he keeps it open. He didn't paint himself into a corner. Any Rogan episode, he could be talking to a fighter. He could be talking to a comedian. He could be talking to a politician.
Virologist. He doesn't give a shit. Yeah.
Right.
But imagine if, let's just say a person, let's make this person up. Let's say there's a person out there who is very well spoken. He's got 132 million followers on Twitter. Okay. Let's say he even becomes a 2-term president. And then let's say he starts a podcast with another guy whose name is Bruce, who's a very famous singer.
Okay.
And they sign a $25 million podcast with Spotify.
Okay.
A year later, Spotify drops him. Can you see that happening with somebody that big? I mean, that's pretty crazy for that to happen, but that's what just happened to Barack Obama. Why Spotify dropped its deal with Barack and Michelle Obama. Tyler, can you go up so I can read this entire article? Because this is almost unbelievable. Make it a little bit bigger so we can read this. The Obamas are searching for a new home for their podcast after Spotify reportedly declined to offer the former first couple a new contract because they didn't make enough personal appearances on the streaming services. Barack and Michelle Obama are reportedly in talks with several companies, including Amazon, Audible, and iHeartMedia, on a deal that will likely be worth tens of millions of dollars, according to Bloomberg News. The ex-president and former first lady who co-owned the production company Higher Ground will reportedly decide on their podcasting platform of their choice sometime within the next few weeks. Higher Ground is set to be seeking an agreement that would allow it to release shows on several platforms simultaneously. One of the sticking points is in negotiations with Spotify and the Swedish company insistence on an exclusive licensing deal, which they didn't want them to give because they want to syndicate it amongst everybody. Even if the Obamas produce podcasts for another company, those shows will, in all likelihood, make their way to Spotify anyways. Streaming services want the Obamas to make more frequent appearances themselves in order to generate more buzz for the company, but the former first lady is reportedly willing to commit to no more than 8-episode programs. Higher Ground was paid $25 million after signing with Spotify in 2019. So only 8 episodes is what they want. Spotify's moving on. Power move. Is this a smart move on Spotify to drop them? A president who has got a very strong audience. His wife wrote a book that sold 30-something million copies. Whatever the number was, she made $36 million. Would you say this was a good move on Spotify or a bad move on Spotify?
I think a good move.
Tell me why.
Yeah, because Spotify cares about actual listenership and subscriptions based on what they're paying for. And even though he has a lot of Twitter followers and she might sell a lot of books, you have to bring them to the podcast world. You know what I mean? So, Rogan signing with Spotify and having a built-in audience of a ton of podcast listeners is different and much, much, much more valuable than having a politician who gave many public speeches and has Twitter followers to that.
Crazy,
like
a lot of
people have a lot of Twitter followers, a lot of comedians, and they suck at selling out shows. They can't fill a venue at all. Yeah, and they tweet all the time and they work on their following and they post videos and all this stuff. But if you suck live, you suck live. And they're not going to get any better at podcasting doing 8 episodes every year. We know this, right? You naturally get better at what you do. They don't want to do it. They're clearly there for the payday.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, what they should be doing is just episodes for free and putting it out everywhere anyway. I mean, if they wanted to get good at that thing, but they're not going to get good.
Well, let me ask you the question a different way. If he did podcasts, him and Michelle did podcasts twice a week, and they went 1 year straight, do you think they'd kill it?
Yeah,
100%.
I do as well.
If they did it how often?
Twice a week.
Twice a week.
Yeah, it's
The beginning of the article says they did it how many times?
12 times for the year, whatever the
of the
number
year.
was.
Yeah. I mean, they're what is it called? You're just kind of like mailing it in or packing it in. You're just
Bro,
kind of you're not putting in the work.
Obama is, bro. Did you guys see they brought him to the White House because Biden's numbers were taking so much? It looked like a rock star was in the White House. Like Joe Biden was behind him, like trying to chase him. And it's just,
Pat.
dude, everybody will watch him every single day.
Pat, let me ask you. I mean, you're a businessman. You're focused.
Yep.
Okay. We've done. This is number one. What are we? 140. What is this?
143.
Not to mention the X amount that we 148. Holy shit! And not to mention the dozen or so we did back in Dallas under a different name. If you were only doing this once a month, 12 times a year, what kind of bang for the buck?
Listen, we feel it if you don't do it for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel it if you don't do it for a week. Podcast game is a lot of work.
Yeah.
But you have to do it steadily. But I wonder with Spotify to give up. I actually think they made a very smart move because Obamas have to have their show on Spotify, and Spotify doesn't have to pay them shit. Mm-hmm. They just have to be like, what are you talking about? I'm not going to pay you nothing. You're going to put it on here anyways because you have to mess with my audience.
Yep.
Okay. But the reason why we were willing to pay Rogan is because he agreed to be what? Exclusive. If you're willing to do exclusive, we'll pay you $25 and you do 1 or 2 episodes a week. But if you want to be able to put this everywhere, why the hell am I going to give you money? I ain't going to give you shit.
Yep.
And I think that's the right move they made. Good for Spotify. Yep. Spotify, you said something. Spotify is in the business of getting listeners. You talk such a logical way. You said, that's capitalism.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't mind giving you money. Okay, I'll give you money, but you got to bring me listenership.
Exactly.
You do? Great. Here's what we'll pay you.
And Tony said something pretty funny before the podcast. He goes, how many people do you know that said, hey, did you catch that latest Obama podcast?
Yeah.
I'm actually curious.
By the way, has anybody listened? If you're in the comment section, has anybody ever listened to one of the podcasts? And if you've listened to all of them, comment below. I'm actually curious.
Oh, the Obama Hillary. What's it called?
The Obama
I'm with him.
Springsteen.
I'm with him.
No, I'm just.
No, that's not.
I think it's called Renegades. I think.
Yeah, Renegades.
I'm with him. That's fucking hilarious.
It's Obama and Bruce Springsteen. I don't know. Should be much bigger than it is, regardless.
I think so.
Should it though?
I don't know.
Obama and Bruce Springsteen.
Wait, you don't think Tyler,
icons?
Don't say it because you don't like his politics. It's Obama. Let me tell you.
I think Obama has the pull. I don't know that Bruce Springsteen has the pull, but I think
I don't know
lot
about
of
Bruce.
people
I
are
don't know.
kind of. I think people like Michelle more than they like a Barack. I think people are over Barack. I think they're done with him. They're sick of him. They're seeing the $800 million library he's building in Chicago. They saw the 800-page fucking autobiography he wrote about
himself. This is the far end Proud Boy Tyler that's talking right now.
Proud Boy?
Just get back to the normal.
I
Get back to normal.
I think people saw exactly what Barack Obama did to the country. I think they saw how he divided it and destroyed it. I think they saw that race relations were at an all-time high before Barack Obama took office. I think they saw that he said Trayvon Martin could be his kid. I think they see well through Barack Obama.
I think you're absolutely wrong. I think that.
By the way,
that's on the right side of things. There's 80+ million people that would love to listen. I don't know why they aren't.
I don't think it's absolutely wrong. I think you're 20% right. I think there is 20% that he lost. But I do think there's a big, like if I'm let's just say Valuetainment and Obama is agreeing to do a podcast with us exclusive and he's willing to sign a 4-year, $25 million a year contract with me and he's going to do 2 episodes a week. In a heartbeat, I'll sign a $25 million contract with Obama for 4 years with 2 episodes a week with him and his wife live.
Yeah, live.
Right here, $25 million. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
I'll give you $25 million up front and another $75 million over the next 3 years. Mm-hmm. You want to come on? Let's do it. He's going to get the eyeballs, period. Yeah. It's Obama. Yeah. He's young, he's sexy, he's attractive, he's got an audience. Not an audience that you would kick it with, but he does have an audience. That's the key.
Barack, if you're listening, Pat just made a verbal offer towards you.
Now, do you think
come on down to Florida?
Do you guys think Spotify would pay, how much do you think Spotify would pay Joe Biden to be on a podcast with his wife? How fucking funny would
minimum wage. Minimum wage.
He would just be trying to shake people's hands that aren't even there. It's like, Joe, dude, that'd be so funny.
No, that's not him though. He at this point of the game, everybody knows he became president for different reasons. It's a whole different situation. That's about to get very ugly.
He became president for one reason. It's just that he wasn't Trump. That's it.
Okay. No, you're not. Yes, but at the same time, listen. Strategically, America made a stupid mistake because during 9/11, everybody got behind America, and the enemy was outside of America. Mm-hmm. During COVID, instead of making China the enemy, which would have brought the entire country together, America made Trump the enemy, and Trump wasn't the enemy. They're idiots. Just so you know that. They're idiots, what they did. Whether you agree or disagree, that was a stupid move because, yes, you got him to get out of office, but you also divided America. So you may have done something like, oh, we figured out a way to get rid of that guy. We impeached him 17 times. Who gives a shit? People now, they're thinking other people are enemies just because they have differences together. It's a very stupid move made by America. I don't think that was a right move.
And you still can't say, like, we're not holding China accountable because let's all be honest with each other. It definitely came from there. It's still, people are still like, it's kind of racist if you're saying that it's from them. Like, no, it's not. Like, people are right now saying I would listen to anybody. Okay, so like, touch the ERP. I want to respond to you. I listen to anyone on PPD but Obama, right? Okay. I would love to have Obama on here to ask him some real questions. Not because, oh my God, we have Obama on. No, I want to ask Obama some real questions to see what he contributed to and what, because remember when he said something a few years ago, says, listen, if you can't pull your pants up and you're going and doing this and you don't have the money to do so, you know you're broke. Like, I don't know if you remember this when he said this like 3-4 years ago. That's a statement to community, you know. So I think there's a part of him. Look, when you start making money and you start really making some real money, your decisions change. You start realizing taxes, just for the hell of it, I'm not for it. You know, I remember when Dave Chappelle got his first big payday and Obama was raising taxes on the first term. Chappelle's like, dude, this is the first time I made $6 million. Can you just wait one more year before you raise the taxes, right? But even Chappelle was like, dude, I don't want to pay that additional $600,000. So working hard, making money gets you to realize on certain things with taxes. But if you enjoyed this short clip, click over here to watch another short clip. And if you want to watch the entire episode, the entire podcast, click here.